The next speaker is a radio show host here out of Tampa, Florida. Please welcome Frank Wuco.
Hey, I'll take care of my own shameless plugs. Thank you very much. Hey, welcome here, everybody. I'm glad to see so many folks out here today. And I had the great privilege of serving our country in the U.S. Navy for 23 years. Trust me, not a whole lot to brag about. I got a guy here that I'll brag about, who can fill this entire field with American pride, and it's my friend John DiCatano over here, who's going to probably kick my butt after this for doing this to him. Fought for 70 days in Khe Sanh in Vietnam and bled twice for our country. God bless you, John. If you want to see what a real hero looks like, then look at him. Listen, I've got a radio show, shameless plug, 970 WFLA. It's every Sunday from 2 to 4. And every now and then, just like the Navy show, they had a good sense of humor when they gave me a commission. WFLA displayed the same sense of humor by letting me fill in for Jack Harris every now and then. It's a real fun thing to do. See here, I don't really have a speech. I've got some bullets here, some talking points, because this speech is it's carved into my heart. That's what happens when you're raised knowing what it means to be an American. This is probably a little bit serious for you here, but this is where we are. This is more than guns. It's about a lot more than guns. It's about everything known to be a right in our country. And there's no such thing as a right that is stronger than your right to self-preservation and self-defense. You know, we know that, and that's why we're here. That's why you are all here today. But let me tell you something about being here and about talking about the sorts of things that we talk about. That's the easy part. This is the easy part. Now listen to me. We've got to know where we are right now in order to get to where we want to be. And that's far away from this place. And I'll tell you where we are right now, folks, and you may not want to hear it, but it is behind. We are literally 70 years behind the left's slow, steady, methodical campaign to dominate every major instrument of information in this country. Whether it's our schools, our universities, every media outlet you can possibly think of, from Sesame Street to R-rated movies. It's the communication and information industry that they control. And I got to tell you, I got to hand it to the left. They've done a marvelous job. And you know what? In many ways, we've let them do it, and that's got to stop. Now, let me give you another dose of reality. Trust me, with the rest of you, I, as much as the next person in this crowd, loves to bash the left, Barack Obama. I do it every Sunday on WFLA. I do it every chance I get. But guess what? They're there. We're not. They right now control all of the levers of national power. These are very dangerous and dark times for this country. Now listen, to folks out there who are Republicans, Libertarians, Tea Party, 9/12, constitutional traditionalists, you have got to come together against the left, because I saw us eating one another alive during this last election cycle. I saw us attacking one another over our nominee. We wasted 2 months of our time bickering over Mitt Romney when our dream ticket, if your dream ticket was, I don't know, Sarah Palin and Glenn Beck, who knows? That was a dream ticket to some of us, to some of you. That wasn't reality. We can learn from the example of the left when you see them stick together the way they do. And I don't care if we had videotape of Barack Hussein Obama personally beating Ambassador Chris Stevens to death with a sack full of cute little puppies. The left would stand behind him unfailingly. Now, we don't support liars and pretenders, but we've got to start supporting one another. Listen, again, I love the Tea Party movement. You know, I love 9/12. I love patriotism. Everybody in this crowd loves that sort of thing. Hell, we've known that for 237 years. But where we are right now, if we stay within our own sequestered communities, whether it's monthly Tea Party 9/12 meetings at the local coffee shop, whether it's the gated communities that we create on Facebook, chat rooms, listen, we all agree with each other on these American ideals, and that's nice. It is nice. It's a good feeling to know that there are people of like mind who gather together. And it feels good. But feeling good about who we are isn't enough right now. You know, when we gather together in like-minded groups and bash the president and talk about our ideals and how wonderful we know them to be, it's self-affirming. Sometimes it's educational. But where we are right now, folks, a lot of that is nothing more than group therapy. We don't need to affirm to each other what we know is right. Like I said, we've known what's right for 237 years. You have got to get out there. You've got to become missionaries. You've got to become pilgrim. Something the Alinskyeites understand. You got to get outside of your comfort zones. You've got to get into the communities that don't believe a word you're saying. This is hard work, and it's going to take a long time, and it starts right now. Listen, look at our president's example. He seems to appreciate occupation, marches, assemblies. It's time that we show him what that looks like. It's time that we show him that we know how to do that. It's time to show him that, you know what? Let me tell you something. We're going to do it because it's the right thing to do. It's time to show him that there's something that we actually agree with him about. You know, we've got to do that in a smart way, though. Trust me, this president is looking for something. It frightens me half to death when I see people in the media interview the president and ask him if he thinks that this is his Lincoln moment.
That's disgusting.
Do we really want him to find his Lincoln moment in all of this?
He's a plagiarizer.
I thought he was a Kenyan.
All he does
All right. Listen, we got to do this in a way that does not give Barack Obama his Fort Sumter moment. He's pushing the American people for that. He's pushing us to a place that gives him permission to further divide this country into a place of darkness and violence that we have not seen in 6 generations. We can't allow him to do that. We've got to hold fast on this freedom, this Second Amendment freedom. Trust me, it is so much more than guns. Founding fathers weren't just thinking about guns when they thought of the Second Amendment. They thought of the only real right that a human being has, and that is the right to survive. Again, this here today, and God bless you all for coming out here, and God bless all of the people who cling to their Bibles and their religion and their guns and consider themselves patriots.
Yeah.
But we've got to do more than that. Listen, patriotism is a great thing. But if you're a patriot in your pajamas on Facebook, if we're patriots only in the coffee shops where we all gather and just agree with one another, our numbers are going to go down. We cannot allow that to happen. When you leave here today, before the euphoria, before the good feeling leaves you, you folks get together and you talk about how you're going to get your numbers up. You folks get together and think about when was the last time you got away from a crowd like this and got into enemy territory and started talking to people who don't believe a word you're saying. When you start winning converts, we are on the path to victory. We've got the better ideas. We know that. Now let's get them out there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. God bless all of you. God bless the United States of America.